Hi there, in this video, we will talk about the benefits and importance of music education. Have you ever heard of music education? Music education is a field of learning and teaching music, and it is a process of acquiring knowledge in music. Music education encompasses all learning domains, including the psychomotor, which is skill development, cognitive, which is knowledge acquisition, and the affective domain, which is the learner's willingness to receive, internalize, and share what they have learned, which also includes music appreciation and sensitivity. Besides, mathematical skills and awareness of a second language or culture are all included in many music education curricula. Did you know that the consistent practice of these skills has been found to help students in academic areas and standardized examinations such as the ACT and SAT? As music is considered an important part of human culture and behavior, music training is common from preschool to post-secondary education. Music education is approached differently in different cultures worldwide due to historical and political differences. Music education happens in the classroom in the form of weekly music lessons and throughout the extracurricular programs such as school bands and choirs. Music education also takes place at classes in private institutions, music schools, and churches.
Moving on to the history of music education. Beginning around 500 before Christ, the purpose of education was to develop citizens capable of actively participating in Greek society. In fact, music education was included in the education of general fine arts. Greek choirs began to substitute professional musicians for amateurs, leading to a decline in music education. Around 480 to 524 Anno Domini, Roman scholar Boethius wrote the Institution Musica that preserved Greek music theory that was taught throughout the Middle Ages. Music education in the Middle Ages consisted of training in singing, until musical notation was developed. Music education then shifted to music reading. Therefore, composers could actively express their true intentions for the first time in history.
Next, we will talk about how music education is carried out and what kind of methods there are. During the 20th century, quite a few different methods of music education were introduced and further developed. There are 7 primary approaches which are used to carry out music education. The first method is the Dalcroze method. The Dalcroze method, also known as Dalcroze eurythmics, teaches concepts of rhythm, structure, and musical expression using primarily movement. Combined with movement, eurythmics begins with ear training or solfege to enhance the inner musical ear. Another concept of the Dalcroze method is improvisation, which improves students' spontaneous reactions and physical feedback to music. Besides, eurythmics is also known as Dalcroze's most famous concept. This method is split into 3 basic concepts: solfege, improvisation, and eurythmics.
The second method is the Kodály method. The Kodály method suggests that music should start at an early age, similar to how humans pick up their mother tongue. This method also emphasizes the use of folk. Singing is said to be the most basic aspect for musicianship. Zoltán Kodály, who came up with this method, starts with sight reading and learning basic rhythm, together with pitch using a hand sign method. The hand sign make visualizing the special relationship between notes easier. Solfege singing will also be more on pitch with the hand signs. This differs from the use of solfege in the Dalcroze method, as the Kodály method does not involve movement. The Kodály method is known to teach steady tempo and beat.
The third method is the Orff schoolwork, also known as the Orff approach. The Orff approach teaches children about music that involves their mind and body by singing, dancing, acting, as well as the use of percussion instruments such as xylophones, metallophones, and glockenspiels, which are known as the Orff instrumentarium. To help children understand better, lessons are conducted playfully. In fact, the human body was said to be a percussive instrument used for clapping, stomping, and so on. This method teaches music in 4 stages: imitation, exploration, improvisation, and composition.
The fourth method is the Suzuki method. The Suzuki method was introduced in Japan and spread to the United States during the 1960s. This method creates the same environment for learning music that a person has for learning their native language. Like language, music becomes part of a child by listening, repeating, and memorizing what they learn. Besides, like learning language, it is important that parents motivate, support, and encourage their child in this method of music education. Parents and their children usually learn the same instrument together, so parents would act as their child role model. Although the Suzuki method was initially created for the violin, it is now suitable for other instruments.
The fifth method is Gordon's music learning theory. Gordon's music learning theory is a model for music education based on Edwin Gordon's research. The theory explains music learning based on audiation and students' individual differences. Audiation is defined as the sensation of an individual hearing or feeling sound when it is not physically present. Audiation occurs when an individual is listening to, recalling, performing, interpreting, creating, improvising, reading, or writing music.
The sixth method is conversational solfege. Conversational solfege is a method where notation literacy develops as a child hears and then say or sing to decode music using correct rhythm and solfege syllables before moving on to the reading and writing notation. In other words, students learn how to read and write the things they can hear and perform.
The seventh method is Karabo Cone method. This method uses props, costumes, and toys for children to learn basic musical concepts of stuff, note duration, and a piano keyboard. Furthermore, the concrete environment of the specially planned classroom allows the child to learn the fundamentals of music by exploring through touch.
Next, how does music education benefit us and why is it important? By having music education, the society will be able to know more about the beauty of music and appreciate music structure. Along the way, people will be able to know the reason why music could be said to be an international language. While acquiring the language of music, the children personally experience literally hundreds of musical masterpieces, including children's songs, folk songs of many nations, and art music repertoire. And so, music education brings benefits in terms of music being passed down for generations. Music education can also help to stimulate brain development in children. Various studies have found that engagement with music can lead to an improvement in brain development in children. A study at Northwest University found better neural processing in students who played a musical instrument when they were compared with students who simply listened to music. This study shows the benefits and importance of receiving music education rather than simply turning on background music when students are doing work in other subjects. Besides, other studies have also found increases in IQ points in children who engage with music. When they compared with students who didn't take any music lessons, musically engaged students improved more in IQ subtests, index scores, and standardized measure in academic achievement. Music education is also a great way to enhance reading comprehension abilities in children. Another study from Northwest University found that students who actively participated in music classes had better speech processing abilities along with higher reading scores than children who weren't involved.
Music education is important as it can improve and develop language skills among children. This is because music stimulates the brain, and with its varied sounds and lyrics, students are exposed to a large amount of vocabulary in a short amount of time. In addition, music also provides exposure to other languages, which creates a foundation for the students' ability to understand and communicate in a different language, such as musical terms in French and German. Music education is also important, for it integrates many different subject areas all at once. Learning music not only helps to develop musical skills, but also provides the opportunity to improve maths, reading and writing skills as well as the history of music. For example, the time signatures in music are an excellent way to incorporate fractions. Lyrics analysis and songwriting will allow students to work on their reading abilities. Furthermore, having discussions about how instruments work will involve information on the physics of sound, and learning about music's place in society will enable them to know more about historical events. Music can also teach children to develop their own time management skills and discipline. For example, if students are expected to learn their instruments and practice outside of school, then they will need to develop the ability to create a practice schedule. They must be able to balance every other activity they have going on in their life. Learning proper discipline and time management from a young age will have countless benefits on a child's future. Music education is also important as it gives students a way to connect with other people. For example, having a school band or small ensemble will allow children to work together towards a final product, such as an end-of-year performance. This also encourages bonding and will provide students with something to reminisce on together in the future. It has been proven that having people of all ages play or listen to music together will help to create bonds. Music education has many benefits to people of all ages. It is important to know the reason so that we can continue to advocate for keeping music education in our schools.
Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, hey, hey, lihat nona jauh. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, hey, hey, lihat nona jauh. Rasa sayang, hey.
Buah cempedak di luar pagar, ambil galah tolong jolokkan.
Saya budak baru belajar, kalau salah tolong tunjukkan. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, hey, hey, lihat nona jauh. Rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, hey, rasa sayang, hey, hey, lihat nona jauh. Rasa sayang, hey. Getaran jiwa melanda hatiku, tersusun nada irama lagu, walau hanya sederhana tetapi tak menampak. Moga dapat membangkitkan sedalam gambaran.
Tak mungkin hilang irama dan lagu, bagaikan kembang sentiasa bermadu. Andai dipisah aku dan irama, lemah tiada berjiwa.
Getaran jiwa melanda hatiku, tersusun nada irama dan lagu, walau hanya sederhana tetapi tak mengapa. Moga dapat membangkitkan sedalam kamu wahai insan.
Tak mungkin hilang irama dan lagu, bagaikan kembang sentiasa bermadu. Andai dipisah lagu dan irama, lemah tiada berjiwa.